Hi, this is Trey Passer. Welcome to my review of Swamp Thing on the DC streaming service, episode 1. Okay, this review is going to have spoilers in it, but I'm going to try to keep these reviews sort of brief so I don't, ramble and keep it on. Just FYI, this series, Swamp Thing, I think originally was supposed to be 15 episodes or so, but they kind of cut the order to 10 episodes. Okay, and based on the synopsis on International Movie Database, it seems that they changed the content of the show. They reworked it because what you see in the pilot is not what the description is, and the description in the International Movie Database is what used to be, I think, on the TV show. And actually, so I think they reworked it and they kind of changed a few things around. So this series stars Crystal Reed as Abby Arcane. She's a scientist, formerly she lived in the town that she comes back to Louisiana to investigate this mysterious virus. She works for the CDIC, and she's a brilliant scientist, but you can tell she's haunted by a tragedy that happened in her past. Okay, and she's basically coming home to help with a tragedy, this mysterious virus that's affecting the town, this small town. Okay, you have Virginia Madsen. She plays Maria Sutherland. She's like the wife of this real rich guy named Avery Sutherland, played by Will Patton. He's like the local rich guy who's the big shot in town, and everybody kind of works for. And he also is the one that actually hires Alec Holland in this show, played by Andy Bean. Is a scientist that he actually hires him to come down and investigate and see what's going on, what's causing all of the, this mysterious illnesses. He gets hired by this Avery Sutherland, played by Will Patton, to come down there. Okay, now, first of all, the show, the location, Louisiana, is breathtaking. I believe this show is directed by the guy who did the, I'm trying to remember his movies, the movie with the vampires and the werewolves. I can't think of the name of those movies, but the director who directed those, he directed the first 2 episodes, apparently, of this show. So he sets a nice tone and for this show. And again, this is a mystery going for it, finding out what's causing this mysterious illness that's causing this stuff in the swamp and getting people sick. And of course, the town is frightened and worried about everything that's going on. And like I said, Alec is there investigating, and he runs into Crystal Reed at the hospital when she's called in to investigate. And they kind of sort of start investigating to find out, what's happening and what's causing these mysterious things. And there's some great atmospheric shots and some great special effects, CGI, that you see when things start going sideways. With this, and you can tell, like I said, they kind of bond, Alec and Abby. They bond, she tells him a little bit. Actually, he finds out a little bit about her past, and then she kind of Googles him and finds out that he's sort of a disgraced scientist because he's kind of fudged his results and stuff because he was impatient and wanted to kind of get quick results, and so he kind of fudged his results and got busted with it. So he's kind of a disgrace. So him coming down to this town to investigate this thing is him trying to do it the right way. And so you have that dynamic going on with these 2 characters who have a nice, chemistry towards each other. And of course, like I said, things go sideways in this episode. They make a discovery about what's exactly causing this. They find out these mysterious briefcases that have been dumped into the swamp. And they test what they find inside of this mysterious toxin that's causing these, everybody to get sick, potentially go sick. And Alec, when they make the discovery, Abby, decides that she's going to go back to the hospital and inform them and see if they can test this thing and see if they can find a cure for it. And Alec, meanwhile, he figures that he can track the rest of these suitcases, based on the signal. He can just, and see if he can stop more people from getting sick. But of course, when he's doing this, some mysterious figure pulls up and shoots him multiple times, and he falls into the swamp. Okay, and then of course the swamp literally heals him. You literally see the swamp healing him, and of course we know he's going to turn into the Swamp Thing. Abby hears she hears the gunshots, and she hears a big explosion where Alec is supposed to be, and she rushes out, and of course she encounters the Swamp Thing, not quite literally face to face, but she encounters him. And she kind of runs away, and then you see at the end of the episode him climbing up on the thing, and you don't get a full shot of Swamp Thing, but you know that's Alec transforming into the Swamp Thing. Okay, and I'm so looking forward to it. So this episode, like I said, the first episode was really good. It's kind of established, Abby Arcane, and Crystal Reed is a really good actress. I know I saw her first in Gotham, and she's really good. And I know she's been in other things, but she's real good, believable. You can tell her as a character, Abby Arcane is haunted and stuff. And I liked Andy Bean as Alec, but since his character is going to get transformed into a Swamp Thing, and Derek Mees is going to be Swamp Thing, but maybe they'll show Alec in flashbacks and stuff, because obviously since he turns into Swamp Thing, he won't be Alec Holland anymore. He'll be Swamp Thing. So, but maybe they have him listed in all 10 episodes, so maybe they'll have him in flashbacks, and then eventually I think Abby will figure out. Or I know the Swamp Thing talked in the TV show that was back in the 90s. I think the TV show that was on. I think Swamp Thing talked, so maybe they'll have him talk, and then eventually he'll reveal himself to be, to be Alec Holland and stuff, and they'll bond that way. But it's 10 episodes, which I think is a nice tight order of episodes, so things should get moving quickly, and things are. In this first episode, he's already on his way to transforming into the Swamp Thing. So anyway, I enjoyed it a lot, and I definitely recommend it. Definitely get it. I know some people don't like the fact that it's a streaming service, and that you got to get it weekly, and that you just get it weekly instead of binging like Netflix. But I don't mind having a show to go back to every week. Okay, it keeps me interested, and I enjoyed it a lot. Again, I think the tone. I'm trying to remember. Jesus, I'm trying to remember the movies. Hold on, I'll tell you. Sorry for that quick edit. I just wanted to, I had to look it up. Glenn Weissman, the guy who directed the Underworld movies, he's directed the first 2 episodes, and he does a really good job, I think. But I've seen this the first episode, just setting the tone and the whole of the series and the look of it. It looks really good. So I definitely recommend you check out Swamp Thing. I know it's a weekly thing, and some people don't like the fact that it's weekly because they can't binge it, but I like having a show that you can come back to every week. So definitely check it out, and I definitely recommend you go. I would sign up for the DC streaming service if you could. And I know some people overseas can't sign, but they really need to make it international at least, so the people overseas can get into it. Because I think somebody explained this. They think that if they do it and if they binge it, the people will just watch it and they won't come back every week for it. So they want, that's why they're not doing it initially. I think not streaming it. I mean, not dropping all the episodes, the whole thing at once. They want to try to build up a fan base. That's why I think they're putting it on weekly. So, but I definitely recommend it. This is again a strong pilot episode for Swamp Thing. I definitely recommend you check it out. Anyway, let me know what you think of Swamp Thing, episode 1. What do you think of it? Let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. And if you like this review, please hit the subscribe button down below. I have links to my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram in the description box, as well as a link to my other channel, Paul Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.